Welcome once again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Here we are to review another album, and this time it's an album from the band The Drums, and the band is really just one person, and the album is called Brutalism, and the one person that chose this album was Richard from Calvin Wazoo. He is one of the Vinyl Community Guncles, along with Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, Mike from Hub Tunes, and I'm the guy who's been late to this party twice now, causing everybody to be up late. I'm Robert Fithen.
It's only saying 5 seconds now. It stopped recording.
No, it says 47 to me.
Now I have to do that intro over again.
Okay, no, you can maybe just split me out.
You talked over me. I can't do that.
I did. Oh, tell me to go to hell then. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. I'm up first, aren't I?
Is everybody done?
The drums. Okay, I took a few.
I guess we're going with it.
Yeah, go. Yeah, it's fine.
Go.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So the drums. I've seen this band live. I saw them when their third album, I think it was their third album, came out. They were actually a band back then. They were like 4 members of the band, and they were really good live. And so I remember I bought their debut that came out in 2010, and I really liked that record. And then I liked their album Abysmal Thoughts in 2017, which is quite a well, they had one album in between that, and I really liked that album. That's when I saw them. I saw them at South by Southwest, and I was super excited for this album. And I remember when it came out, I got it on the day it came out, and man, I just did not like it. It was such a change, and I think this is the album where it becomes just him. And he needs the band to kind of, not rein him in, but just kind of, I don't know. But so I listened to, I knew, so when Richard picked this, and I was really surprised Richard picked this record. This is not your kind of, this doesn't seem like a Richard kind of album. And
you're right. You're right.
You're muted.
It has you're muted, Fitton, but it has a guy sniffing underpants on the cover.
This has Richard written all over.
Yeah.
Really? You think so? I didn't think so. Anyway. So I knew what my opinions of it kind of were. And I was like, you know what? Go in with an open mind, re-listen to it. You haven't listened to it since it came out. And it's kind of what I remember. It's just, I don't know. His vocals are just almost whiny. And oh man, I don't know where to begin. I just didn't. There was nothing musically that I enjoyed about it all that much. And I listened to it 3 times because I swear I listened to every record we do.
Wow.
By the end of the 3rd time, I was ready to scream. His vocals just grated on me. By the end of the 3rd time, I was like, I can't I don't know what happened to this band. Obviously they're not a band anymore. I think that might be one of the reasons I don't like them. So then I was kind of excited for the new album. Is it Johnny? When that came out too, that was the last year, I think. I streamed it because I was like, I'm gonna give him a chance. I knew I liked this band at one time, and I didn't like that album either. I like this one better than Johnny, actually. I don't know, man. His vocals, and there were a couple of songs that I did like. Oh man, that Body Chemistry is horrible. And that 626 Bedford Avenue. Oh, it was the title track. I kind of like the title track. I thought that was probably my favorite song on the record. It's only 9 songs. It's only 35 minutes. I mean, it's quick. So, but man, the first song was okay. I like that, but Body Chemistry and 626 Bedford Avenue, that one just put me. I'm sorry. Two rainbows.
Okay, well, I'll be grading, of course, on a curve for 2018. So having said that, when, it's 2019, I'm not expecting the world here. So I don't think I disliked it as much as Mike. His voice does take a little bit getting used to. I think the Pretty Cloud song, he comes on and it is very whiny and grady and whatever. But I didn't really, especially after like the fifth track or whatever, I didn't really start to pick out different songs and I like this about this song and that about that song. It all kind of blended together.
Yeah.
And it all is the same themes. You're dealing with relationships here because why write about anything else? And so he basically I think the lyrics are what's interesting here. It is impressive that he was able to pull off this musical thing here, but by being just one person doing all of this. I think it does have catchy melodies. Of course, I'm always wanting a band, and you're not getting that here. You're getting electronic equipment making music. You're getting in-the-box production. But there are melodies here. I think he's really talented. I don't know anything about him. His name's Jonathan Pierce, by the way. And I don't really know anything about the drums, the band, the drums, and I don't know anything about him. This is my first experience with any of that. So, but it's a definite, the lyrically, I think there's some nice lyrics in here. He really opens himself up to, you know, it seems like he lived this stuff, you know, and again, it is all relationship type stuff, but it is variations on a theme, and the theme is you're the problem. What's wrong with you? A lot of these songs are, you know, you did this. Why are you like this? The 626 Bedford Avenue song, you know, even the one where he opens himself up a little bit and says, you know, why do I keep going back to this address? Why do I keep going back to this person who's obviously toxic? It still ends with the person being the problem, not him. You're a psychotic. You need to get that checked. You know, that's the last line of the song. So yeah, brutalism and loner, you know, he's tired of being alone. The Pretty Cloud song, the Body Chemistry song, where he's just looking for a good fuck. You know, like, you know, what's wrong with all these guys out here, you know, that don't give good fuck? Or I'm assuming this guy's gay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He's sniffing what looks like men's underwear on the. I'm going to assume that, even though all the songs are in second person. He does talk about a girl, and I think it's the song "Nervous," maybe, or "Kiss It Away." But "Nervous," I think, has some of the best lyrics about, you know, being nervous around you, and he's still nervous, and he's even nervous to be himself, nervous to hear, to know your middle name, or you know my middle name, or whatever that is. So I think a lot of it is pretty clever. I don't hear a lot of lyrics like are expressed in these songs a lot, but you do get a window into this narcissistic personality who is constantly whining about the relationships they're in, but it's never their fault. It's always the other person that's flawed. They must be perfect. It's all you that's bad. It's this guy and that guy and that guy. They're the problem. They're psychotic. They're damaged. They don't treat him right. You know, that type of thing. So one thing this album did, just like a lot of these albums where somebody is just bitching through the whole thing about the relationships they're in, is it does just remind me, it just makes me think of how lucky I am, because I don't have any of this. So it's a window into all of that, especially as we get later into our very long, you know, 20 plus year relationship. Even though the stuff that we used to be, you know, the conflicts that used to come up, they don't even come up anymore. We have just become, you know, just so like attached and used to each other that we don't even, there's no arguments anymore. There's no anything. I mean, you know, it's all good.
You're just two cats.
Right. Two cats. And
That
cat.
cat.
Longer better than these two cats. And just man, I don't know. It's a window into a lifestyle that I'm glad I don't have. Constantly sitting around trying to find the one and running into people that problems and never realizing, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm one of the ones with some problems here. Maybe I'm not perfect. He never reaches that conclusion, though. I noticed mine had 10 songs and was 38 minutes long. There's another song on the very end called Try that I guess if you have the record, it's hidden.
Yeah.
It can stay hidden. That's not a great song. You didn't miss anything with that one. It definitely sounds like a bonus track. But overall, again, grading on a curve and considering this is a one-person project here, I will give this 3 rainbows.
Oh.
Very nice.
I said I think I liked it more than Mike.
I thought you were gonna hate this. Every time I was listening to it, I was going, "What is Robert gonna say about this?"
Well, I mean, it is not
surprised at
my
that.
wheelhouse, and I don't like the in-the-box production, and I don't like a lot of it. But the things I don't like about it, that's all just 2019. You're going to get that with anything
You're
in
gonna
the
get
last
that anyway.
Right.
15 years, unless it's a retro act. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm surprised he's not. Well, I'm sure he is auto-tuned, but not to the
Oh,
effect
he's
level of
definitely
auto-tuned.
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely auto tune.
Yeah. The drums, Brutalism, 2019. So I know the debut very well, and I know the song Let's Go Surfing. Obama, even though he's saying oh mama, but I like to say Obama. I want to go surfing. But that's when they were a band and there were 4 members. And then it went to a duo, and then now it's one dude. The opening track, I thought it was just awful. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get through the album just from that first song. But I did listen to this 3.5 times.
What
But there
happened
was-
on the halftime?
Yeah,
I
where
just,
did you stop?
I just couldn't finish it. Well, I guess maybe it was a little more than half. There's one song I kind of really liked. And then I've read about them, and I thought there was some interesting thing, like their influences were when it was a band, the Smiths, Joy Division, Orange Juice, the Shangri-Las. I thought that was interesting. I didn't really feel any of those influences, maybe on the first record more so.
Yeah.
And definitely some maybe like Orange Juice and Joy Division on the first record, but it kind of loses. I haven't heard anything but the first record in this, and I kind of forgot because when Richard mentioned this, it was like, I don't know who this drums are, and then I was like, oh yes, I do. They sing Obama, I want to go surfing. It's a good song.
It is a good
I love that song. It's so great. Yeah, I think the only song I really, really liked was I Want to Go Back. And of course I like it because it's sappy and sad. So yeah, the same theme kind of going on and on and on. I don't like I just feel like I haven't been impressed lately. Somebody impress me.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is
Yes.
a G-rated channel.
Yes. Oh, come on, children. Let's not
Oh,
get
yeah.
dirty about everything, just most everything. But yeah, it just, and you would think, like, on paper, this is probably something that you would see and go, oh, Craig's gonna
Yeah, I did. I really thought that
Actually, yeah.
this was like,
Yeah,
wow,
I-
Craig's
and
gonna be
I
all
just,
over
like,
this.
I wanted to. I really did. And I just, like, ugh.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and that Bedford Avenue. I think the most annoying thing about that is he just keeps saying the address over again. I'm like, yeah, we're going to 620 Bedford. We don't want to go back there. It's a bad place.
And I'm wondering, I was actually going to look it up and forgot. It's like, is there a 626 Bedford Avenue? And who is the poor person that lives there?
I know.
It's like
What's
it's
it?
like having the 8765309 for a phone number or something.
Yeah, you don't want that phone number. So, ugh. I love Richard. I didn't love this record. 2 rainbows. Sorry.
Wow, I gave this a higher rating than
You-
anyone else.
I know.
not-
I did not see
did.
that
I'm
one.
so, yeah. I'm so sorry about me.
I was grading on a curve though.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, you were. So
I
it's
was
actually
reading-
one ring.
I was grading on my ears.
I was sitting on a
There's
curve
no
grading.
626 Bedford Avenue, but there is a 620 Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn.
But isn't that the name of the song? Is 620 Bedford?
It's 626 Bed.
626.
Yeah, that is. So,
No, I
but
thought
yeah,
it was, no, I thought it was
probably the address is skip a number.
Oh, it's 626.
And
Okay.
I think he lives in Brooklyn now.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, this I saw these records in a store when I was on a work trip up in Traverse City, and the first one I saw, and they had 3 copies of it, and I went, well now,
Of course
so
you did.
I was like very ambivalent about buying it, because
No, you weren't.
it's a very cute ass, but I wonder what it sounds like.
Bought that
And-
shit before it even.
So
Mhm.
I look it up and I see what the user ratings were on this,
Looked it up from his car
and
after he walked back to it with the purchase record.
so both in what the hell in God, why can't I think of it? Discogs. It got like 4.5 stars.
Yeah, it gets pretty good reviews.
And then the All Music Guide, it got like 4.5 stars, and it was the pick of all the drums albums. And then I saw that they had several copies of this one as well. So in the same thing, I looked it up, and it was getting fairly strong user ratings. So I thought, what the hell? I like the covers.
Of course you do.
And then when I got back, before I got home, I watched a couple videos of the drums, and these were all earlier.
Yeah.
They were from like KEXP from, like 10 years ago or whatever. And with the band, and it was good. I enjoyed what I was listening to. When I get home, and this one, which is the latest one, is very, 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 very introspective. He comes from a very religious evangelical tent revival family, from upstate New York, near Seneca Lake. I know that territory. It's where a lot of my family is from the Finger Lakes area. And what he did is, I guess, I don't know how estranged he is from his family, but he went back to his parents' house when they weren't there while they were at a revival and shot the photos of him for the album. And it's a very, as I say, very confessional album. And I've listened to it a couple of times, and it's a difficult listen. But there's, musically, like Robert was saying, musically, it's just not all that interesting. Lyrically, there is something going on there. So when I started listening to Brutalism, and I heard that first track, I was like, oh God, this is going to suck. Because I hate that first track. That is just
terrible.
It is the worst track of all. But then Body Chemistry came on. And then I started thinking, oh, okay, now this is going to pick up. And that's when I started. Yeah, his voice doesn't quite annoy me as much as other voices, but I could hear the tone that, this is the kind of voice that a lot of people would find grating or annoying in some respect. But it didn't really bother me. There's only a couple vocalists whose voices I cannot stand. Geddy Lee being one of them. But anyway.
Who is that?
From Rush, the singer from.
Oh, okay, I agree.
Yeah. But I liked, I particularly like the line in there where he says, maybe I'm depressed, or maybe I know too much about the world, about myself. I thought that was a clever line, because there's so much information coming out now that people who are acting depressed are not really depressed. They are having appropriate responses to what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
And, I kind of, like that line. I like the song 626 Bedford Avenue. Again, because I just love the lyrics. I should have left when you laughed at my shoes. I just love that line.
I missed that line.
And when I watched the videos, I remember him. He wears quite cute shoes, I think, in my opinion. So I thought that was, and then he calls it, 626 Stupid Avenue. I just, I like that song. And I liked the title song, Brutalism, because I liked the syncopation that was going on in that song. But the rest, towards the end, I think the songs are stronger. Kiss It Away is okay. It's just barely listenable. I want to go back. It's just, Jesus Christ, get over this stuff, man. You know, it's like, how, you know, are you going to be singing torch songs in some dark, danky gay bar, you know, years from now? I want to go back to it. I want to backtrack to it. And then it gets to that, la, 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 la. Yeah, that song was almost as bad as Pretty Cloud.
Oh, no, it wasn't that bad.
But Nervous was a decent song. Blip of Joy was a decent song. And the hidden track, that was an okay song. But you're right, they are it's a one-dimensional album in terms of content. And I could see why it would get a high popularity rating because of the demographic that it probably appeals to. I haven't listened. I got to listen to it again. I think he's really. I'm surprised he has any relationship at all with his parents, if he does. But the album is. You're right. This is not an album you would think, oh, this is a Richard album. No, it's not.
Richard is the one that did the Troye Sivan, and
see, that's what I was going to mention. See, now it's kind of in the same vein as Troye Sivan and Billie Eilish, and those two artists I really don't like that much. I don't like really all that much, but again, they're very popular with their particular demographic, and Johnny Pierce fits into that, but I kind of can tolerate his stuff better. And it might be because I think he's got a really cute ass, and I think he's a really cute guy to begin with.
He's a very
he's got pancake ass. Look at the one where he's like laying down.
Oh, photography
is a nice looking guy.
He is, and I've seen a couple of videos.
Older than those artists.
He's done one of those. I'm sorry, what was?
He's got to be well into his 30s.
Oh yeah. I think he's in his 40s, perhaps.
Yeah,
and he still looks really good.
See, I'm gonna take a star off because he's singing like he's 20 something.
That's his voice. That's his voice. Because I've seen a couple. Like he did a video, "What's in My Bag." And so.
Cute guy.
But anyway, yeah, this is not, if I had not bought these albums and I had listened to them, you know, I'd be going, yeah, okay, but I would never buy them. I have them. I'm not going to get rid of them. They have their moments for me. And I'm going to give it 3.5 rainbows. It's not great, as Craig would say. You know, I didn't hate it, but it's not like I really like it all that much.
Check out the debut. The debut is pretty good. I really liked it.
Well, yeah, when I was reading up on him, they were saying that originally the drums were more of a garage and surf rock band.
Yeah, and they were terrific live. In fact, I remember they were like my favorite band I saw live that day at South by Southwest. They were really good.
And so that kind of makes you wonder, like what Craig said, it went from a 4-piece band, then to a 2-piece band, and then to a solo. It kind of makes you wonder how easy is he to get along with. But then learning more about his family and his background,
yeah, that's probably a lot.
He's probably got some serious baggage he's still trying to deal with.
And he's 41. I looked it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
God's sakes. And here I am, the guy that can't stand it when they do the women do those girly ass voices. And here he is kind of like some sort of teenager.
Yeah, maybe the gays shouldn't do that either.
Yeah, no.
10.5.
No.
Is that our lowest?
No.
That's probably something else Richard picked.
It's probably the Troye Sivan record.
That was 12, I think.
That was
all right. So it's my turn to pick the album.
Yeah.
So here we go with another one I've never heard before.
Oh, from 1983.
No, I don't know when this is from. It's from 2013, I think, maybe. This was gifted to me from one Chris Burt, who watches our channel and comments a lot. He also has his own vinyl community channel called CBCDs. He used to have a lot of videos on there. I think he's deleted a bunch of them, but he still does videos every once in a while.
I think he still watches.
He sent me this large care package of all kinds of like CDs from Yo La Tengo and Coco Taylor CD.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Incredible.
Very nice.
But he also sent me a record. And I was not expecting any of this. It just arrived in the mail.
Oh, that was
so
nice.
It was like, wow, thank you so much. So I thought it would be a good idea for all of us to review this, since it is kind of it's a vital group, the Yo La Tengo, and it is their album called Fade. I like the cover.
Like
kind of foil. I don't know why he would give me this, but thank you so much. We're going to review it now. Am I the kind of person that shits all over a free gift? I guess we'll find out next week or 2 weeks from now.
Is that you said that's Yo La Tengo?
Yes. And the
I've
album
never listened to Yo La Tengo either.
I don't think mine is that glossy.
This is glossy and sort of foil. But great cover. When it arrived, the vinyl was behind the record, so he knows how to mail records. That's good.
Okay, so you said it was called Fade, right? It's from 2013.
That's what I thought. 2013.
Yeah, mine's not glossy.
Oh, yeah, yours is not.
That's terrible looking. I like
That
this.
is awful. Oh, look at that.
That's so sad, Mike.
Yeah, I put that away.
We don't want to see that.
Actually, I think this is the original.
Oh, really?
And yours is the reissue. This says 2013.
This says 2012.
Before it came out?
This says 1978.
Wow, it speaks.
Yeah, we'll be reviewing that. So we all get to listen to Chris Burt's. I'm assuming. I think he uses his last name on his channel, doesn't he? I'm not.
He does.
Doxing someone. But yeah, we'll all listen to his gift to me, and thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome.
I've only heard like maybe 3 of their albums. I just reviewed their one from '92.
0.
Yeah.
You got a 0?
No, I've heard 0. I've never.
Oh, really? I thought they were like a hip group that everybody was into.
No, I've
never listened to them.
I've always heard the name, and I've always
heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always
never listened to it.
check.
I know I didn't really care for their latest one. I didn't like that one. I think it's their latest one. It came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's their latest.
Sounds like somebody's just running a vacuum over music, calling it noise rock or something. But anyway, doing the old Sonic Youth dirty trick. So yeah, that's next. We'll also be reviewing the tops and bottoms of the year 2008.
Yes.
So you don't want to miss that.
No, you don't.
We've only got 1 year left after that, right? So it won't be
one topic in 2 years.
2 years. All right, so please join us for that. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles. I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard at Kelvin Wazoo.
Craig's at Vinyl Plethora.
Mike at Uptons.
Hopefully we'll
you do that
to
just to make me laugh, don't you?
Soon.